Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here's your stimulus check update, news report, and stimulus package update for Wednesday, February the 10th. I will be bringing you up to date on the latest stimulus news, including the status of the $2,000 stimulus checks. I will also let you know how families could be receiving more money than the $1,400 stimulus checks, thanks to the new tax credit proposals. I will also be sharing a chart that will show you how much more money families will get from the next stimulus package. Okay everyone, so right now the GOP leaders on the three committees are upset because they will be sidelined from putting their touch on the next stimulus package, while the Budget and Rules committees determine how some $12 billion in federal funding will be spent. Republican lawmakers on the Foreign Affairs, Natural Resource and Science, Space and Technology committees wrote a letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The GOP leaders urged Democratic lawmakers to stop shutting us out and allow minority members a chance to weigh in on the final markup. Currently, Democrats are advancing President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan through budget reconciliation, a process that will allow Democrats to avoid a potential GOP filibuster in the Senate. The legislation is expected to include a third round of stimulus checks and expanded unemployment benefits. What do you think, everyone? Do you think that this is a great idea? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below.
President Biden said yesterday he's open to compromise on some aspects of the nearly $2 trillion proposal for COVID relief, and he met with Republicans earlier this week to hear them out. You've been very clear that your priority is moving this as quickly as possible through, whether Republicans are on board or not. I have a question. What's the downside of your proposal, if any? Let's say we move it right through without any Republicans involved. Is there a downside to that at all, or should we just do it?
Well, Joy, look, I think we all want bipartisanship. I hope Republicans join us. But the most important issue right now is to understand that working families in this country today are in more economic desperation than they have been since the Great Depression. I don't have to tell you. In my own city, Burlington, Vermont, which is doing better than many other locations around the country, hundreds of people have lined up in their cars for emergency food delivery help. All across the country, families are struggling to prevent eviction. In the midst of a pandemic, people can't afford to go out and find a doctor. We have a pandemic today which is taking some 3,000 lives every single day, and we're not getting the vaccines out as quickly as we can. Half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Millions are working for starvation wages. In other words, we face more problems today than at any time since the Great Depression. And we got to move for working families, and we got to move yesterday. And I intend to do this as quickly as we can.
Good morning, Senator Sanders. I, too, would like a sweatshirt, so maybe we could just do this as a View donation, and we could all get host sweatshirts, please.
Okay.
But you want to incorporate raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour as part of the package, which even some Democratic senators like Joe Manchin and John Tester have said that they are opposed to. If this package is about getting immediate relief to people who are desperate for it as quickly as possible, is now the time to take on that specific fight?
Well, I'll tell you why I think it is, Megan. If we don't do it through reconciliation, and as you well know, Republicans in recent years have used the reconciliation process that we're using right now to pass massive tax breaks for the rich and large corporations. They tried, as you well know, to end the Affordable Care Act and throw 32 million people off of the health care they had. And in fact, your father and his vote was the reason that did not happen. So reconciliation in recent years has been used very aggressively. The truth is that when you have so many of our people, and I've been all over this country, trying to raise children on 10 or 11 bucks an hour, when the minimum wage has not been raised since 2007. You know, no one can tell me that you can live with dignity on 9 or 10 bucks an hour. So it's a 4-year phase-in. Doesn't start tomorrow. It goes from 7.25 to 9.50, then to 11, then to 12.50, 14, and then 15 bucks. It is something that is long overdue. And by the way, we are cognizant of the problems that restaurants and small businesses are having, and we're working to provide large tax credits to make sure that they can absorb whatever wage increases may occur.
Committees of jurisdiction in the House of Representatives and Senate will be instructed to write and mark up relevant sections of the bill with certain price tags before sending it back to the Budget Committee. However, Democrats are skipping the three committees in question, meaning the relevant parts of the bill won't be subject to Republican amendments and debate as part of the committee markups. The combined price tags for the three committees amounts to $12 billion. Republican leaders such as Representatives Michael McCaul, Frank Lucas, and Bruce Westerman are very upset with the Democratic Party. They called it an affront to our members who have been specifically chosen to serve on the panels, and argued the decision undercuts the most basic rights of our minority, including the option to attempt to amend the bill. The jurisdictions of our committee span important issues, ranging from energy security and prosperity to vital space and science programs, and growing our leadership and security in the global arena. Members picked to serve on our committee spend years developing experience and expertise on these issues. The ranking member of each committee wrote in the joint letter, "By refusing to mark up reconciliation legislation in our committees, we are ceding our jurisdiction to the Budget and Rules Committees, which have no subject matter expertise in these areas." And according to House Leadership Aide, there will be 9 committees doing formal markups this week. The aide stated, given that these 3 committees have relatively small portions of the overall bill, they decided to forego markups. I know many Americans are eager to receive another stimulus check from federal government. Thanks to another part of the Democrats' $1.9 trillion relief package, qualifying American families could actually receive more money. According to Howard Gleckman, senior fellow at the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center, he stated, "The child tax credit is going to be more important to many families than the economic impact payments. So the child tax credit is going to provide financial support to help parents care for their children. Because it's a credit, it lets parents subtract a certain amount from their federal tax liability. As of right now, that amount is up to $2,000 per child." Democrats' economic relief package will give families $3,600 per child under the age of 6, and $3,000 per child for older minors, including those age 17. The one-year change would also make the child tax credit fully refundable. As a result, parents who currently receive no credit or reduced credit due to having little to no income would become eligible for the money. The full credit would be available to those individuals with up to $75,000 in adjusted gross income per year, or heads of household with up to $112,500 per year, and joint filers with up to $150,000 per year, based on the 2019 or 2020 tax filing information. It would phase out at $200,000 for individuals and $400,000 for joint filers. According to multiple sources, the credit would be fully available to 27 million children under the plan. Representative Susan Delbene is one of the lawmakers behind the proposals. Last week, Susan Delbene told CNBC, "For families, monthly payments make a big difference because they have money where they need it." Earlier this morning, Democrats in the House Committee on Education and Labor approved a $15 federal minimum wage proposal, included in President Joe Biden's stimulus relief package. Representative Ilhan Omar wrote on Twitter around Wednesday, "It's a wrap. $15 minimum wage passes the Education and Labor Committee after more than 13 hours of debate. Increasing the federal minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $15 an hour by 2025 would cut employment by 1.4 million. However, the $15 minimum wage would lift about 900,000 Americans out of poverty." Republican Representative Virginia Fox stated, "Once again, Democrats are ignoring vulnerable, hardworking Americans, choosing instead to favor left-wing special interests and those who support their radical agenda, forcing children to miss out on a high-quality, in-person education while cherry-picking the schools that receive relief, and championing a job-destroying $15 national minimum wage hike is hardly bold relief." This is the end of the video, everyone. I really hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to enter the $50 Amazon gift card giveaway, which is scheduled for this Friday. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. Thank you and have a wonderful night.